the same level as these guys. This is fighting for first and second place, which we know the tournament's getting harder and harder, and seeding becomes more and more relevant.
Indeed it does. All right, up here in the top left, the legend from Warcraft 3, now a legend in StarCraft 2, it is Grubby.
There he is, so next to Naniwa. We'll see if Grubby can do it here today. A puff of air as he gets ready to do battle with this guy down here. It is, of course, Team LiquidRet. Dutchman going head-to-head here to find out who's going to be number one.
That's right, there's Ret right there. Of course, from the famous TeamLiquid.net. If you don't know what TeamLiquid.net is, well, you better go there right away because it's an important site in the life of StarCraft.
It is indeed. Lots of good information. Follow the community there and just keep up to date with everything StarCraft related. Cross positions here on Whirlwind, a big map here, and Grubby has a pylon inside base. I'm looking at it, and I was going to say that I'd be expecting a Nexus first on such a big map like this. Ret, is he going to early pull? No. Would you like the best economy you could get knowing a player like Ret? Yes. Though we see a gateway being put down here. What do you make of it? I mean, we spoke about it a little bit before.
I think it's completely brilliant, and you know, I actually consider Grubby one of the smartest Protosses in the entire world. I just think he's got such a great head on his shoulders, and you know, we did talk about it a bit before. On this map, if you go with a gateway opener, that's going to slow down the speed with which Zerg takes the third base. And the thing is, over time, it's going to be harder and harder to beat Zerg on this map. So to mess them up early on, to force them into a slower third in a lower economy game, I think is exactly the right choice for Grubby, especially when his forte is micro. So something like a 5-gate might be a great choice for him, whereas playing the longer macro game against the macro powerhouse Ret, I don't think that's as good a plan. So this is brilliant IMO.
And it's really good for Grubby that they've spawned cross positions, because the Overlords, they're not going to see anything for any time in this game, forever.
Yeah.
I mean, how is Ret going to know what to do, whether he takes or doesn't take a third base, when he's not going to see what his opponent's doing for a very long time here? So Ret's just setting himself up, you know, to play a normal game here, but little does he know is that Grubby's back at home, mining in gas from a couple, is going to expand, but the most important part here is that the Cybernetics core is done. He has the tech available. He has options to do whatever he chooses.
Yeah, and it looks like Grubby will go for that Nexus, but with a quick third base and no gas quite yet, Grubby can do a follow-up pressure here, which can be very deadly indeed. You know, he can go for one of these 3-gate small pressures, or maybe just a huge 5-gate attack. And in fact, I have to say, in this scenario with Ret still not having gas, I'd love to see Grubby go for a 5-gate.
Remember, Grubby is completely blind in this game to what's actually going on Ret's side of the map, but he can presume that 3 hatcheries have been taken. There's a late scout there from Ret, and now Grubby's gone into this, I feel, more so than he's not going to react. He's already got a plan, already knows what he's doing. He knew what he was going to do as he loaded onto Whirlwind here.
Yeah. And he is adding 2 gates right away. Is he going to add any more? This could just be like a 3-gateway pressure, but I think without any doubt he's going to have to put on some sort of pressure here. You know, you don't want to go for a gateway expand and do 0 damage while your opponent is playing a completely normal Zerg macro play.
Yeah, and you know, Grubby actually hasn't even found out where Ret is yet, and there's an extra gateway coming down inside the main base. That's going up to a total of 4 now. And Grubby, like I mentioned, I think he's pretty confident what Ret's done without seeing it.
Yeah.
Because it's so normal to take these 3 hatcheries. And now we're about to see if he can do anything about it. He doesn't quite know where Ret is yet. And that's why the probe's going to the left here. I don't even think he's scouted down to the bottom left. This is the first kind of presence he's had on the map down this side.
Yeah, it really is. And he's going to run into the creep with the mothership core first. And then try to get a pylon up somewhere. Now, we do have speed started, but definitely if Grubby leaves his base pretty soon here, then he's going to be able to get down there with, you know, a few zealots, a few sentries, and make a pylon.
Well, the pylon's been built, but it's on the complete other side of the map here. It's going to take quite a while to get units over there, and Red's probably smelling what's up here, to be honest. I'm pretty sure he saw the probe on the left-hand side via Overlord there. And he does have a couple of units in production yet. Speed about 50% complete, and we're going to see if Grubby can do anything with this early. Remember, he's sacrificing economy. He's not building probes consistently here either. He's actually cutting them down quite a bit. So this is a big commitment from Grubby.
It seriously is, but I think it is the right choice. The thing is, his pylons are way too far away right now. He will get that one warp in, and as that comes over and he gets another one at this pylon, that's going to be a perfect time for him to get in there. But he has to be careful because 12 more lings on the way, and speed is almost done.
Oh, he's got to be careful not to waste these lings. There's a lot of units coming in, and, well, we're about to see how this is going to work out for Grubby. He's got quite a few force fields. Remember, if this all goes wrong, he can immediately just pull back. But there's Time Warp going down. Good force fields as well. And, well, I'm pretty sure that Rhett's in trouble here, Autosis.
He certainly is, Apollo. And, in fact, with this many Zalts coming in as well as yet another pylon, things are looking very good right now for Grubby. But the lings are going across the map right now. And can they actually break into Grubby's base?
Oh, no, he can't because he's put a pylon there to stop this. Whooping the units expecting it. And this looks like it's just going to be a win here for Grubby. Bringing down the third hatchery of Rhett, pushing him onto 2 bases. And this calculated move from Grubby is working wonders.
Well, you know what? Grubby right now, he's chosen a perfect strategy. He's done enough damage, and in fact, going to continue to do some more. Force fielding behind those roaches so his Zealots can finish them off. And the amount of damage Rhett has taken here, it's not that he 100% can't recover, but pretty much this is the worst scenario he could be in.
And Grubby's on all 4 gases, can easily transition away from this now and look for something else if need be. But the amount of damage you said is absolutely incredible here. And Grubby is showing probably his strength, his biggest strength, is that he's able to make these calculated decisions. He's smart, as you called him before. He knows his opponent inside out. They know each other so well that he was able to build a plan like this. And it was a successful one for sure.
Now, this is interesting because Rhett has finally held this off, and as we can see, you know, he still has 37 drones. You know, he's going to keep playing, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. Now, Grubby, in the meantime, is going to transition to Stargate, and I'm really wondering your opinion on this transition into Stargate.
I quite like it, and I'll put my reasoning down straight away, is that Rhett now needs to cut corners. He needs to get that third base down, he needs a drone, he needs to make some decisive moves, and being safe isn't one of them. He's not going to build spore crawlers at all here. I really don't think he will. And if that's the case, if Grubby can get in there with Phoenixes, I know he's going for Void Ray, he could have done damage. With a Void Ray, though, is he just now being like, all right, well, the kind of only option you can do to win this game is to do something crazy at me?
I think that's his thought process, is the single Void Ray will stop dead in its tracks any Roach All-in that might be coming. And in fact, how many queens did he end up killing? Almost all of them. So just making a Void Ray and sending it towards a third base that's likely to be retaken, what is going to be there? Probably maximum 1 queen.
And Grubby's keeping up this Void Ray production. He's got another one in the making too. And it looks like Warp Prism, I mean not Warp Prism, sorry, the Mothership Core does put Time Warp down on natural, picks off a queen with a couple of Zealots there. More and more damage being dealt, and Rhett's running home.
Oh, man. And look, killing any queens right now is so amazing because of these Void Rays. The less anti-air, the better for Grubby. Now, the Spire is about to finish, so this could cause a problem still.
Well, let's see what he's going to do with this, because if Mulus can intercept these Void Rays on the way to the third, that actually gives Rhett a bonus.
Yeah.
But he's not building anything from it yet here, as we can see. He's got the +1 attack on the way.
I think he wants to pop about 10 mutas at once here, if possible.
Has Grubby seen the Spire? Well, we're about to. He probably will now with this Phoenix, and he does see it. So he knows it's there, and he's going to immediately have to start some Phoenix production, I feel, to actually deal with this. He doesn't know if anything's out, what's coming, and the second Stargate coming down too.
The right choice for sure, but Rhett hasn't made mutas yet. There's still the possibility that he's preparing for a Colossus follow-up or something like that, which would be a really weird choice, but he could do it. With 5 spores on the way, I feel like that since he's making 5 spores, he realizes that maybe mutas aren't the right choice right now.
Yeah, and I'd be surprised if he did, actually. It doesn't make sense to play defensive against air and then build units that aren't good against air. It just doesn't make sense here. And Grubby's getting +1 attack here for his air whilst moving across the map. Remember, he can always recall with this army. He's got the Mothership Core with him, but that's forcing a lot less drones out from Rhett, who's still at only 59. That's really low at this stage.
Yeah, that is very low indeed, and Grubby's taking a third base behind this, so Grubby is still in a fantastic spot. But, you know, if Rhett can stop this cost efficiently and Grubby stays in making a lot of Phoenixes, then a switch into some Corruptors with his Roaches could be quite nice.
Grubby's actually stopped Phoenix production. I think he kind of realizes there's no Mutalisk. They would have come by now. So I think he's feeling out this game really well. Great force fields to zone out this natural here. And the Mothership Core still there, still able to recall. It was getting targeted down by the Queen, but it went down.
Yeah, the Queen goes down once again. We do have a little counterattack here by Rhett. He really realizes that he doesn't only need to hold this attack, he needs to deal damage right now while the army's out, or he's going to have no chance anyways.
Do you think Grubby should recall back to this base?
I think he needs to, yeah, well, he thinks so as well, and it is a good call. You do not want to lose this Nexus right now.
And he does manage to save it while doing quite a bit of damage on there. He continues Void Ray production, not Phoenix, having noticed that Rhett clearly doesn't want to play Mutalisk in this game, and that's a lot of Void Rays. With +1, they're going to do a lot of damage against what we can see a clear Roach, potentially Hydra production sort of army, and that's so weak against what Grubby had. Grubby's got the best army for this.
Yeah, Grubby's really in a good spot, and in fact, at this point, having saved that third base, really not lost a lot of probes, and done damage to Rhett so many times, I wouldn't mind seeing a switch into Mutas. As crazy as that sounds right now, I think he has to do something ridiculously risky to try to get back in.
Well, he's got 1,400 gas banked up. That could be it. If he gets up there, 15 Mulas could change this game, especially if Grubby moves out and he moves in. He needs something here. He's definitely playing from behind. You can see by the supply count, 140 to 94 here. Great little, you know, Roach attacks here, slowing, doing as much damage as possible.
Yeah, Grubby doesn't seem to really care that much. He's sending some backup Void Rays over to clean that up. In the meantime, another nice little Roach attack. I mean, Rhett right now is doing his best, and he is doing that switch into Mutas, and I do think this is his best chance, even though I think it's not too likely to work right now.
It's not too likely to work at all here. Well, one thing you can look at, there's no attack upgrades for the Protoss army, just an armor upgrade here. They'll survive a little bit longer, but still, there's so many units here. This is one last hope from Rhett. 11 Mutalisk. The Void Ray's cleaning up at home. We'll see if he can do it.
And in fact, you know, that Mothership Core has taken so much damage this game, but does continue to live. It's down to just 5 hit points right now.
Rhett's saving all his Mutalisks. He's got 13 more on the way.
Yeah, and again, I think it gives him at least some sort of chance. You know, if he can just completely overwhelm this army right here, there's not really that much anti-air defense back at home. And, okay, Phoenixes do get started again by Grubby, so that's going to be a problem for Rhett.
Yeah, and, well, does Grubby just go back? He can go back, he can stay there, but Rhett's going to be looking to pounce on this army, so we'll see what Grubby decides to do. It looks like he is starting to trail off.
He's got almost 27 Mutas.
That's a lot of Mutalisks.
And even though there's a lot of Phoenixes out, and even though there's about to probably be Psy Storms and Stalkers and everything you could ever hope to have against them, 28 Mutalisks cannot be underestimated. They, with good micro, with good movement, they can do a lot of damage.
And it looks like Grubby's going to go down to this base and potentially find it at the 6 o'clock here. We'll see. And if he does, he can immediately just recall back. We'll see what he's looking for. But these Mutalisks might actually drag his attention back up north. He might need to recall here, because if he doesn't, a lot of probes are going to go down. And there's the recall. Straight back to that base, straight back to defend. And it didn't look like he lost any probes.
Now Grubby is getting charge, as well as that +1 attack finally, making more and more Phoenixes. And with those Phoenixes, of course, he's going to want to chase down the Mutas, but the Mutas are outmaneuvering him so far.
It's never over until the Fleet Beacon and range upgrade is done. You know, Mulas, one mess up from Grubby here, and the Mulas can win the air battle.
Yeah, and as you see, wiping some things out here, and Grubby is going to go ahead and come home. But the Phoenixes are going to be a big problem. That is a lot of Phoenixes. 11 against 29 Mutas at the moment.
Oh, nice pullback there by Rhett, and he's looking for the flick back here, and he gets a good one there. He picks off a Phoenix or two, and he's going to attempt it again, but look at the amount of damage that's been dealt to these Mutalisks.
So much of this just comes down to the micro of Grubby, not even really of Rhett. Grubby just has to keep those Phoenixes alive against the random movements of the Mutas, and he's doing a great job of it.
Yeah, looks like he lost another one there. They are starting to drop off in numbers, but he is making 2 at a time. 7 do remain, and every second that these remain, the Mutalisk flock is now down to 10 from about 24 there. GG. And Grubby secures game 1 here of this best of 3.
Indeed he does. You know, that was really good play by Grubby. He